Now look at this.
What's up, about penguins? Review topic 7.1, Introduction to Natural Selection. So what is natural selection? Natural selection has to do with that an individual has a favorable trait, and that favorable trait allows them to be more likely to survive and more likely to leave more offspring for the next generation. So as you see, there are dark and light colored mice. They're going to be living on a dark background. And so our visual predator of, a hawk is going to be more likely to see the light colored mouse. So because of the fact that the hawk is more likely to see the light colored mouse is less likely to survive and less likely to have offspring. So it's less likely to pass on its traits to the next generation. Versus the dark colored mouse is going to be able to blend into its surroundings. It's more likely to survive and more likely to pass on its traits to the next generation. So we're going to see that the mouse population is going to become more darker. So we need to be very careful about not making a Lamarckian statement. So Lamarck believed in use and disuse. If you use something, then of course it's going to be passed on to your next generation because you used it. So that goes back to the giraffes. The giraffe stretched its neck, and because during its lifetime it stretched its neck, it had a longer neck. So its kids also had long necks. That's not what happened. So there's a mutation. That mutation allowed for the giraffe to have a longer neck. And because it had longer neck, it got more food than the shorter neck giraffe. Antibiotic resistance is another example. A lot of students will tell us that the reason why the bacteria is antibiotic resistant is because the antibiotic caused the bacteria to resist it. No, there was a mutation in the population. That mutation allowed for a group of bacteria to be more favorable to survive when in the presence of the antibiotic. So there's 4 different conditions we like to think about. The first thing we've already mentioned, variation. There needs to be a variety of different phenotypes in the population for natural selection to be able to select the more favorable one. Okay. We also need to have competition. There needs to be some type of fighting for resources, because if all organisms can get all the resources they need, then unfavorable characteristics are not going to be, lost and removed from the population. Adaptations, there needs to be something that's beneficial that allows for the individual to be more likely to survive and more likely to, pass on its traits. So of course, adaptations. And then selection. We need to see that there is a change in the allele frequency. There needs to be changes in allele frequency in order to see evolution take place. And all that we keep talking about with more likely to survive and more likely to reproduce, that's all reproductive success. So when Darwin said survival of the fittest, he was talking about which organism is more likely to survive and contribute to the gene pool and pass on their traits to the next generation. AP Bio Penguins is just success. Bye, y'all.